Interrupt and go straight to the House of Commons to listen to the vote.
320, the noes to the left 276.
The ayes to the right, 320. The noes to the left, 276. The ayes have it, the ayes have it. Look!
Well, there you go. The Rwanda bill has officially passed through the third reading of the House of Commons with a majority of 44, so relatively comfortable after the big rebellion that we saw when it comes with the amendments that we saw yesterday. And that, of course, is a big moment, and Rishi Sunak and Number 10 will be breathing a big sigh of relief. That does not mean, of course, that the battle is over. It's going to go into the House of Lords, where I'm sure some peers will have a thing or two to say about this legislation. Well, let's pick up with our political editor, Beth Rigby, who's still in Central Lobby. A majority of 44, Beth.
Yeah, I mean, that is a comfortable majority. The Prime Minister, I think, will be delighted by that. There was an expectation that after the second reading it would get through, but potentially with a much reduced majority. 44 majority. He's going to be pleased with that. And I've managed to keep Sir Jacob with me. Other people want him. Just quickly, what's your reaction to that? Good majority, huh?
Oh, you're absolutely right. The Prime Minister will be pleased with 44. It's better than he thought he would get a week ago. His team have worked very hard to reassure people about their intention behind the law, and I think that helped swing people over.
So, Jacob, one thing that is really obvious to ask is it will go to the Lords now. It's very likely that the Lords will dilute this legislation. When it comes back to the Commons, what will happen then? Because you might find yourself in a row with One Nationers who quite like a diluted bill, and you guys will want it toughened up again. What's your message to the Prime Minister?
It won't be possible to toughen it up because all the amendments from the Lords will be weakening amendments, and you can't amend back to toughen. That has to be done in the Commons stage effectively. Yes, it's possible that the One Nation group won't like it, but actually the Commons and the Conservative Party in the Commons tend to take exception to the Lords trying to overrule the democratically elected House on a matter that is much more political than it's administrative. The Lords is there as a revising chamber, not one to battle the democratic will of the Commons on a deeply political issue. And a majority of 44 is a message to their lordships that this has solid support in the lower house.
And just finally, in terms of where we go now, the Prime Minister has been bruised and battered by this row. It's not a good look for a Prime Minister to be battling his party. He's come out of this weakened. Do you think he can rebuild?
Well, I mean, in the division lobby 10 minutes ago, he was there, and he seemed full of beans.
Did you talk to him?
I said good evening. I mean, but he seemed very positive. He doesn't seem like somebody who is bowed down by any of this. He's got a great spirit, which leaders need. Leaders have to be thick-skinned. There's no point in being a leader of any country at any time, or any party at any time, if you haven't got the hide of a rhinoceros.
OK, Sir Jacob, thank you very much for keeping with us on Sky News. Interesting there, Sophie. Sir Jacob saying this sends a message to the House of Lords. Don't mess with this bill when there's a majority of 44. But